U.S. President Joe Biden will travel to Seoul later this week to meet President Yoon Suk-yeol. Expectations are high the two leaders could cover a range of topics during his three-day visit. Yoon Jung-min provides a glimpse of what to expect.
Economy and security are expected to take center stage when U.S. President Joe Biden makes his first trip to South Korea as president later this week. Although not officially confirmed, President Biden's three-day itinerary in South Korea reflects just that, as it's expected to include a visit to the Samsung Electronics chip plant in Pyeongtaek and a possible tour of the heavily armed Demilitarized Zone separating the two Koreas. The Biden administration has been bolstering cooperation with its key allies on semiconductors in efforts to take a lead against China, and the DMZ has been frequently visited by former U.S. commander-in-chiefs from Ronald Reagan in 1983 to Donald Trump in 2019, where he met North Korean leader Kim Jong-un along with former South Korean President Moon Jae-in. All of this is aside from the first one-on-one between the newly inaugurated South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and the visiting U.S. President on Saturday at the new presidential office in Yongsan. Although the final details of the summit are yet to be finalized, three main agendas are expected to top the summit table: the allies' coordinated response against North Korea's provocations, especially in the wake of the regime's series of missile launches and signs of a possible seventh nuclear test, ways to up contribution on global challenges, and issues surrounding economic security.
이번 주에 방한하는 미국 바이든 대통령과 인도 태평양 경제 프레임워크를 통한 글로벌 공급망 협력 강화 방안을 논의할 것입니다. 공급망 안정화 방안뿐 아니라 디지털 경제와 탄소 중립 등 다양한 경제 안보에 관련된 사안이 포함될 것입니다.
The one-on-one will be followed by a banquet, which will likely be joined by the heads of South Korea's four major conglomerates: Samsung Electronics, SK Group, Hyundai Motor Group, and LG Group. There are also reports that the U.S. president has a meeting scheduled with former President Moon Jae-in, during which Mr. Biden could offer Mr. Moon to serve as a special envoy to North Korea. South Korea's top office officials on Tuesday denied any knowledge of this meeting. The upcoming South Korea-U.S. summit comes only 11 days since President Yoon took office, which is to be held in the shortest time since the inauguration of a new South Korean government. Yoon Jung-min, Arirang News.